Okay. Let's see. Okay, we should be live, and we're live. Beautiful. Awesome. So, ToadNet, ToadNet's the channel name. This is Blaster Toad here, and yeah, Unreal, or the Epic Game Jam for Unreal Engine has just been opened up. And this year's theme is It's Been a Long Time, but We're Not Done Yet. So this is just after their main stream. We're gonna see what we can come up with for that theme. So I'm gonna get the new project started. I'm not gonna work in the newest engine version yet, just because it just released. I don't want to run into the bugs involved with that. So yeah, let's see what we can come up with for the idea of it's been a long time, but we're not done yet. I'm going to be making a game. It is going to be a blank project. We want it C++, scalable, because I think I'm going to do VR. No starter content, ray tracing disabled. And then I need to go over to the folder I've preset up. Where is Unreal Engine? Game Jams, Epic. And there we go. We're gonna select this folder. My first thought, and I think this is what I'm gonna run with, since it's been a long time but we're not done yet. Because I haven't done a story game before, trying a story game where you're an old guy who's still fighting a war and seems to be the lone survivor. I think that's what I want to do. And do it in VR, because why not? I've been having a lot of fun playing with my VR headset. Let's put it to work. So let's should I have space in it? Space would be cool. So do we do like a Last Starfighter? I think Last Starfighter is an actual thing. Yes, Last Starfighter is a movie. It was a good movie. The Last Enemy. The Last Enemy is a TV series. Okay. Lone Fighter is... Oh, and we've got the Lone Fighter. What can we have for a project name? The old guy fighting by himself. Final Days. Final Stand. Final War. There we go. That is something with nothing going on for it. So, Final Days, Final War. Or do we do Final War, Final Days? Yeah, because that's nothing's directly searchable for that. So perfect. That is our name. Final War, Final Days. Okay. Program file, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I have Productivity Tools and Productivity Tools Lite installed, don't I? Productivity Tools and Productivity Tools Lite. So we're going to uninstall the Lite version. Cool. Come on. Finish up and installing. Anywho, so let's create this game. As you can see, I've only got a few projects on the go and example projects and stuff like that. So yeah, I've been busy. Busy. Okay. Do scalable quality. Selecting the folder again. And I've already got my GitHub set up for that. Cool. Ooh, we got a project launching. Awesome. So while that's launching, let's open up Blender. And we'll start making some assets just to test with. So we are going to need a hand. So let's make ourselves a hand. Go away, thing. Do we do 4 fingers or do we just do 3 fingers? 4 fingers. Okay, and then we're going to grab that edge and that edge and make them a little bit wider. Bring that out. Control F? No. Shift E? No. What is slide? No, just a button. I'm sure there was a shortcut for it. I missed this menu being on the spacebar. Gonna edge slide that one in. I'm gonna bring those back, something like that. Actually, we're going to dissolve that edge. Move it back, something like that. Cool. Then we're gonna come off of that, scale her down, rotate it something like that. Okay. Sure, that'll be our thumb. And these guys, we want to extrude along individual faces. On individual normals. That didn't quite work how I wanted to. Okay. Gonna go I negative 0.1. So I negative 1. If I set it to 0.1, 0.2, 0.5, no. What is the value? I.08. There we go. I.08. I.08. And I.08. And we're gonna extend these out. Something like that. And then we are going to bring these back. Just giving ourselves a basic hand shape. I'm happy enough with something like that. And we're gonna slide that back and then bring it out on Y. Cool, and then what happens if I just apply a subdivide? Not a great hand, but not a horrible hand. And then if I add something like that, cool. We're gonna make these fingertips not so fat. And we're gonna do the same to the knuckle joints. A little bigger. Now you're gonna bring them up. Oh. You need to grab those front bits as well. And we need to grab these sides. Damn it. I shouldn't have done the centers yet. Modeling is not my forte by any means, as you can already see. Okay. Something like that. And then we're gonna bring a knuckle spacing type thing here. And what we're gonna do with that is just so we can thin out the bottom of the fingers a tad. Pull that up like that. Pull that back. And there we go. And we're just going to pull these ones in a tad. Okay, we're getting towards our hand shape. No, because I don't want to do that on the thumb. Okay, so thumb we're going to thin out as well. This one we're going to use slide. And then that one we're just going to grab and move that. And something big. Something like that. Okay. You want to define the fingertips just a wee bit better. I'm gonna slide that one back down some. Go. And then do we want a wrist on here? Sure, just give ourselves a bump at the back there. Okay, let's give ourselves some definition across the knuckles. And then we're gonna go back to the vertex selection. We just want to grab the center vertex of each of those knuckles and move them up. We have a nice little knuckle bump. Let's turn on smooth shading. There we go. And then what happens if we increase that to 2? Okay. Like, not a great hand, but it'll do. Well, you know what? No, we're gonna go more. Screw that. Okay. I want to go full on, like Cinti Studios polygon assets look. So, bring that back on the X. I'm going to bring that. Nope, don't want to rotate. I want to bring that down. Bring that back. Add a center ridge so just the bottom of the finger is rounded. I'm going to keep the top squared off. And then I'm going to bring that in like so. And that'll be our fingernail. I'm going to bring it up. Out. I want to slide those like so. Same back here. I want to do an edge slide like so. And then we'll bring these edges in like that. So there is our fingertip. And then that way we can do more low poly modeling. So let's bring this back to a knuckle. Something like that would be knuckle area right there. this guy is gonna be an old guy, so let's give him some like big knobbly knuckles. So we're just gonna pop them out like that. Something like that. And then we're gonna bring it back. And we're gonna make it a little bit fatter as it comes back. And we'll do a second knuckle. There we go. Bring her back again. Bring it out, but bring it down that time. Something like that. And then this is where it's going to meet back up with the hand. So we're going to give our last knuckle. Something like that. Then we want to go selected there. I can't do that. Okay. How do I do that? Okay, so I'm gonna Shift D. No, I don't want to duplicate it yet. Yeah, we'll just do this manually. Select it all, and we're just gonna shift it forward. Something like that. I'm just gonna bring it over. Scale that finger up just a tad. And we'll scale it out just a tad. And we'll rotate it just a tad. There we go. Actually, we want this one counter rotated. Something like that, and then we'll rotate this one back. Perfect. I'm gonna duplicate that out again. Rotate it on the Z out like that, and we're gonna bring her a little bit smaller. And something like that, and then I'm gonna go to local and scale it on its X. We've got the small finger there, and same thing here. Scale the middle finger out just a little more. And there we go. Now we got our knobbly knuckle old man fingers. Okay. Select them all for group editing. We're going to get rid of the tails in them. We're going to get rid of those at the, just delete the faces there. And then we're just going to spread them out just a tad. So I think that will make joining them a little easier. Again, the 3D modeling, not my not my best skill. Let's put it that way. Okay. I think that's good, and then we are going to duplicate these guys, so when I need to use them later for a thumb, I've got some selection to work with. We're going to start joining our hand two together. There we go, they're all now one, and then I'm just going to start adding some faces. I know if anybody actually does modeling, they're gonna like hate what I'm doing probably. Because there's probably some way better method of doing this, but hey, game jams and stuff. This is this is my skill level for modeling. Okay, so we're gonna get rid of those interior faces. Then we're gonna go down and join these lower faces. Okay. And then we want to get those something like that, and then make them flatten out a tad. I think something like that retains our knuckle bulges without getting too ridiculous. And then we'll come in and we're just going to accentuate the knuckle bulges. GZ, just take them up a tad. Yeah. And there's some gnarly knuckle old man hands. Perfect. Okay. Take this. Bring our hand. Actually, no. What we're going to do, we're going to simplify this. So these faces I just made, we're going to merge the vertices. Actually, I probably don't need those in between faces. Yeah, I don't need those in between faces. So we're just going to go merge at center on okay. Oh, because I made a extrusion. Okay. Just simplifying our mesh and merging those. Should keep the readability of everything fine. Yep. I'm still happy with that. Cool. And then I can select that, and now I can extrude out the hand. And then it's going to get narrower near its back. Something like that. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to get that there. And then we are going to take these and we are going to smooth. Smooth vertices. And we're going to smooth vertices again. And then we're going to smooth vertices again. There we go. It's getting me more the shape I wanted. Just basically flattening all those out, except for I can also do that a way easier way with something as low poly as this. I can just grab all those. SZ0. There we go. Flattened it out and kept the lower poly look I'm going for. Why I didn't think of doing that in the first place, who knows? And then we're going to go to our rear hand closure bit and then start closing that off. Okay. I think our hand needs to grow a bit in thickness. I'm just going to select the top of the hand. And we're going to bring it up. And then we're going to bring that forward. No, we're going to slide it forward. Come on, edge slide. There we go. So then that maintains the proportions I've already got there. Having it so flat at the top makes it look weird. But I'm sure once we get a basic texture on there, it'll look better. So this area now has to come out to be the meat of a thumb. Bring it out. And then we're gonna take something like that finger over there. Turn it sideways. Squat it right down. Something like that. I think it just overall needs to be bigger, but then shorter. And then when it's closed, it should reach about there, yeah. Again, I will posit that 3D modeling not my best. Not my best skill. Okay. Now we join that in there. And then we start making this work. Okay. Interesting. That means we need to add something there. Cool. Okay, and then we'll add a separator up around here. We'll edge slide that out a bit, and then bring it back some. Actually, I don't need that line, so we'll just dissolve edges there. And then take these. What's it? Control Shift S? No. Control Alt Shift S? Yes. Just skew. So just skew that out, and then we're going to line that up there. And then I think you want to do something like that. Maybe. Hey, Turok Levi. I am making a hand right now for an old man for the Epic Mega Jam, because our theme is... It's been a long time, but we're not done yet. So I'm gonna have like old man as the last last soldier, last warrior type character fighting some alien threat. At least that's the idea. But it's a jam entry, so that's probably going to change in the next little bit as I find out I overscope my project and I need to do different things. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now, is an old man hand. They've got something as a VR hand. Yeah. And yes, Levi, Torok Gaming there, it might look like a monkey hand right now, but that is fine if it looks like a monkey hand because it's for a game jam. And as long as it is good enough in context and it's submitted within 7 days, I am fine. Do I de-accentuate the knuckle? So I could do that. Or do I try to move the knuckle forward? I think I try to move the knuckle forward. So yeah, anybody can enter this jam. There's some awesome prizes. Epic does this every year for Unreal Engine, so it's definitely worth checking out. I want to slide. Okay, apparently it's not going to let me slide those, so I'm just going to grab them and move them up like there. Okay. Okay, and then now I'm going to slide this bit back. If it'll let me slide it. Slide verts, there we go. And then I want to slide that one even more. And then I want to like bring those ones out. line those guys right up there because I want to keep that flat look. Something like that. And then I'm going to add that line for deformations. And we're going to select the thumb and try to position it a little bit nicer. Because what I'm concerned about now is how it's going to deform when I add a skeleton to it. I want to select just that group right there. I'm going to bring that back like that, and I'm going to add a line there so it can deform better around that point. Okay. Now I think the back of the hand has to have some definition other than being flat. Let's work on that. Maybe adding, that adds another line there. Add another line here. I'm going to move these back. And then with those, I'm going to select that guy. Something like that. And then we're going to turn on influence. So I can get a nice, smooth. I'll grab that guy as well. Something like that. And then we're going to do the opposite down here. Just giving the bottom of the hand a bit of definition. But I want to keep it pretty polygony. Something like that. And then I'm going to make a new skin texture. And we'll also add a thumbnail texture. Actually, no, we're not going to add a thumbnail texture because we're going to do hand painting on this. So we're going to kill that, remove the extra texture. And we'll do some hand painting on this when we get it UV unwrapped. So what we're going to do is select the thumbnail for the nails as such. And we're going to mark those as seams for our UV unwrap. So we want to do mark seam. We'll mark that as a seam as well. We'll have a split there, so that will flap up. And then let's flap along there. So the bottom of the hand will be separate from the top of the hand when we're texturing it. And then we're just going to do a mark seam. Okay. So now, if we do a unwrap, what does our UV look like? Our UVs look kind of dumb because our fingernails are still attached. Well, that's part of the problem. Okay. So let's, instead of doing that, we're going to clear all seams and we're just going to do a UV, smart UV project. Sure. And what does it give us for a UV? Not great, not horrible. We can work with that in painting. Okay. So then we need to make a new image. You're gonna T for texture underscore old hand. Too long and not fat enough. I also have that exact same feeling. I just don't know what to do with it. Okay, let's try to fix the thumb. Like honestly, it could also like just be the angle of it right now. Like see if we take that bit and we go like, okay, move you back there. Rotate a tad. Something like that. And then we take this bit and do the, do the same sort of thing, just rotate it a tad. I think that's over rotated now, so if we bring it back to like that, and then need to lower the influence a tad, but something like that. And then from there, we could say take these bits and just go whoop, make it a little bit fatter, and then we'll bring that forward. But then we get this bulging out, which I don't like. Gonna take those, turn the influence way down on it. And do it something like that. I don't know if that actually makes it any better or worse or what, but that's how it's gonna be now. Okay, so where, oh, where is UV editing? We've got the UV, we've got the picture. Shading, that's what I want. And then I'm going to add a node. Nodes, inputs, add input, texture, image texture, there we go. I'm gonna use old hand is going to be our base color. And there we go. So now it's time to paint our hand. Get our basic skin color. That looks like too much yellow, maybe a little bit jaundice. And there we go, something like that's fine. We're gonna come in, we're gonna get a nail color. The nails are okay if they're a little bit yellowed. Something like that. What we're gonna do, I believe, we can mask two selected faces. That selects too much. And that selects too much, okay. I was hoping I could do a nice easy cheat. Oh, I can select all the sides at once though. That makes that a little easier. There we go. And then we just have to get under the fingernails. Okay, now if we go back to object mode, oh no, we go back to texture paint mode. And there should be masking. No. I've got those selected. How do I mask to it? I know there's something there. Nope, that's not masking. Damn it. I need to like fill to the areas I have selected. See, this is a pain in the ass part I hate. I don't even think that's a good color. No. I want just a little bit of yellow brown in there. And bring it darker. No. Almost. Something like that, yeah. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I just had the wrong button. And then when we turn that off, we can see, there we go. So yeah, let's, we're gonna go to our color palette, we're gonna save that color, and then we need to get our skin tone back. Yeah, that looks like our skin tone right there. Perfect, so we're gonna go there, select our nails, boom. We then need like a kind of fleshy color for the back of the nails. Is there a toggle I can use to do that? Oh, I'm on soften. Huh. I'm gonna just do like the cuticle here, right? And how's that look? Yeah, I think that gives it a bit more believability. Just go for each finger and add this like cuticle bump in it. And then we're gonna give them gross old fingertips. There we go. Let's get like an ugly yellow brown. Darken that up some. Oh, crap. Can I undo that? Oh, I lost my cuticle color. That's fine. Yeah, there we go. We're gonna do like a swath of that across the front of each fingertip. And then we're gonna come back and we're gonna soften that off afterwards. Ooh, that was a bit much. Is the smart UV project, the UV project is giving me some spill, it looks like, onto the sides and stuff. No, whatever. It is a game jam. We're just gonna run soften across here so we get a bit of a gradient. Just like that. And there we go. Nasty old fingernails. Look at that. Oops. And then we are going to add some detail to our fingerprints. Okay, our fingertips. Let's grab something like that, maybe. And then we're gonna go for a real small pen. It's too much and too dark. Okay, so I think that's the color I want. And then we're gonna go and we're gonna mix that at like 0.6. So it's not quite as, there we go. Just giving our nails a bit of, texture so they aren't so flat, and we're gonna do the same thing to the hand later with the skin. Okay, and then we're just gonna soften that up again. Soften brush, we want to be bigger, something like a 60. There we go. Just gonna soften that in so it's less defined, just like smudges of color. Okay, so there are our fingernails on our hand. Don't have beautiful color back there. Yeah, he's supposed to be right at the end of his life. Game Jam length is till Friday the 11th. So a full week, I believe. How close is that? Not quite close enough. That is close enough for me. Something like that to get the back of the cuticles. There we go. Now we're gonna get Old Man hand color. And then with Old Man hand color selected, and putting it up to 100 strength. I'm gonna start giving him some stuff. So let's can I invert selection? No. Cool. Okay, so let's actually break the nails off. Do that, and then I do edge split. It's still connected via that lower thing. Okay. We need to split those edges. There we go. So now I should be able to. Perfect. Oh, that's just because I have that on. Okay, so now if I select the hand, we can mask just to the skin. Beautiful. You know, it wasn't actually that that bad to paint this. So I am going to start from scratch, because in that way we can have a better UV. I'm gonna re-grab the UV. Ooh, not what I wanted to do. Haha. There we go. So let's go back into modeling, and we're gonna select everything and do a smart UV project again. Island margin, we want some, because I didn't do any last time. There we go, way better. We don't have anything overlapping now. Perfect. So, now that we've got that, we'll select our hand, get our hand color, and there we are. Go in, select our nails, do our nail color. Beautiful. Little strip here that is going to tick me off. Oh, good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect. Game jam. What's the theme of the game jam? Theme of the game jam is it's been a long time, but we're not done yet. So I'm doing like a last lone fighter type game. And I'm gonna try to do it in VR. So hence VR hands for an old person. Aha. Okay, let's get that cuticle color. Is that a good cuticle color? That is way too dark for a cuticle color. Is that too much? Yeah. There we go. I think that's it. And that's our cuticle color right there. Okay, now we need our nasty yellow tips. Fingernails, yummy. Hello, Gimme, how are you doing today? Okay, we're gonna soften those out. Get that nice gradient. Actually, you could probably use the nasty fingertip color to do the nail, God damn it. Okay. We need to do a little bit more setup on this, apparently. Okay. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna do a U. Come on, U. Oh, I'm in object mode. I need to be in edit mode. Smart UV project. And then just UV bouncer. We're going to give it bigger islands. Angle limit 30. What sort of UV does that give us? A bizarre one, apparently. And we still get a bunch of things stacked up right next to each other. Ah, UV editing sucks. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and simplify this model a bit to get better UVs. So we're going to take away this top brace on the nails because it's not needed. Any other geometry we can actually get rid of. Don't think I need that. So it's going to bend there. This area will do form. Those areas will do form. Okay. Yeah, there's not much I can do to simplify geometry. It's all pretty damn basic. However, the fingernails don't need top lines because they're flat. So, you can dissolve edges there. And hopefully that gives us a better unwrap. Oh. Might help if I actually, have things selected. And go back to 60-degree angle. We'll go to like a 0.5 margin. Yeah, it's all those sides. Okay. We're gonna manually unwrap this. So we're gonna have the fingertips as their own things. Well, sorry, not as their own things, but the seams on the fingertips. Mark a seam there. We're then gonna have that follow the top of the finger. Tops of the fingers will be their own seams. It kind of screws with the thumb a bit, but that's fine. The thumb will come in like that. The thumb will be marked on there. And then marked along the top. We'll do a break at this back section. And the bottom should just kind of flop open, but we'll soon find out. Unwrap. So there's our fingernails. Our fingernails could be done better. I am pretty happy with how that hand's unwrapping though. So, what you're going to do is we're just going to take the angles on the fingernails and mark them as seams as well. And then we need to do the back sides. This is the part of 3D stuff that I hate the most, is UV unwrapping, because I find it just bloody tedious. Okay. Why are fingernails still doing stupid things? Because they're wrapped in on themselves. Okay. So I could work on doing a nice thing so that those fold out, but instead I'm just going to break them at the tip. Mark seam, so now this will be its own portion. It still doesn't help our fingernails that much. Like, our hand is fine. That is a seam line right there. Those are seam lines. Okay, let's just select that face and see where that actually is. So that face is right there, which is still part of the fingernails. So let's try Smart UV now that I've set stuff. No, Smart UV still does its own thing completely. Follow active quads. Okay. No. Yeah, like these should be splayed out nicely. Oh. Okay, I see what's happening. There's still a vestigial thing there. Okay. So we're gonna hide the hand and we're gonna go in, we're gonna get rid of that excess. Where is it? Yeah, it's still part of this. Okay. So that is an easy enough fix. Should be. So we should go here and then. No, we want to go to these sides. Edge select. And then we need to edge split right there. Boom. And now that's its own thing. Cool. Now just to do that 4 more times. Edge split. There we are. Alt H to unhide everything, select everything, and a new unwrap. Now gives us that. Perfect. Okay. Beautiful. Yeah, not quite the look we're going for, but we'll fix that. Ooh, that's definitely not the look we're going for. Just gonna blank everything out. There we go. Set that back to something like 60. We'll select our hand. No. Why aren't you? There we go. Now we should have no more fighting because those are all separate bits. Yay. Whatever's really close right there seems to be an issue. Where is that square? This fingertip. Because it gets broken off completely, doesn't it? Yeah, it gets broken off completely, so we want to get rid of the seams at its top edge. There we go. I wish there was a way to get better islanding between them. Nope, there's unwrap controls. Conformal unwrap? Nope. We want angle based. Margin 0.01. Give us some space. Okay, so there's an error right there with the thumb. So as long as we don't do anything in the crux of the thumb, we should be fine. There we go, and then that should give us enough space that we aren't running into things. Beautiful. And now we need to reset again. This is why I hate UV unwrapping. And after this, I think we need some basic modular building components, the walls and stuff. And then walker and like some sci-fi guns. I think this was cuticle color, right? Yeah, that's our cuticle color right there. And yeah, we could definitely put dirt under the fingernail, especially with the new UVs. Wouldn't be difficult at all. Go. Now see, the problem with promoting people go and join the game jam is then I have got less people watching the stream. Okay, why are a couple of those having black right there? Okay. Fix that up. Perfect. Was that an issue anywhere else? Nope, good. Okay. So now we can do ugly tips. Okay. Soften those out. This is what, third, fourth time we're painting this now? Okay, so we're gonna make those definitely the ugly yellow. Something like that. Okay, and then we need the nail tops. Apparently those bottoms bits of the nails aren't connected at all anymore. Cool. Drop this down, and now we do our ugly nail lines. And we're going to smudge those right out. Something like that. Okay, now we need to start adding some color to the hand. I think we give them slightly lighter fingers at the bottom. Maybe more lighter than that. And give them like nice light finger pads. And then we'll smudge these out as well. We'll make most of his palm the lighter color. Getting up into the thumb. And we'll give him thumb pads as well. Okay, and let's smudge that. Okay. And then we need to go back to that, and we're gonna do something a little bit darker. And we're just gonna start doing some inconsistencies on the hand. Ooh, that got a bit much. That. These are gonna be like old, worn hands. And then we'll do some like proper liver spots in that afterwards. Go, and then we'll smudge those in. I'm thinking that's looking way better as a hand. Let's turn down the specular a bit. Turn up the roughness. Just so we're getting a little bit less sheen. Yeah. And let's do like a mid-tone as well in here too. And we're gonna put its strength down to like 0.5. So it does some blending in here. Bring down a real dark tone at like 0.2. And just go over and muddy up the hand. Now we're gonna go for just a massive smudge brush, and we're just gonna hit it over and over again with that smudge brush to get those muddied colors just all blending. And there we go. Now we're gonna go in with that, and we are going to get ourselves a darker red brown with a nice smallish brush. And we're gonna start doing what will be like liver spots. Oh, there's our problem. I don't have that set up to full strength. Oh, now I need to make it lighter. Okay, maybe we don't want it at full strength. Yeah, I think right there. Let's bring it down in strength a little bit, but we're just gonna give some liver spots on our old guy's hands. No, that's starting to look too even. A little bit more spread out on the back here. Okay, and then maybe they have to be smudged in as well too. And we'll give some a quick smudge, and then we'll give some a real hard smudge, and that's how we'll get our color variance and shape variances between them a little bit more. Just randomly clicking on it as I move my mouse erratically. Doing a little bit of shaping there. I think I'm gonna need like do some voice acting in it. So that's what'll really sell the old man is the voice. Yes, we got the liver spotted hand in that, but I think the voice will really do it. And I think we need to give it a slight hit of the color just to blend everything together. Because I don't want it too, like, you want it obvious, but not like just in your face, that's all you see. And this also lets us do some coloring. Yeah, I think that's a good old man hand. Good enough anyway. And let's why is it so light? Weird. Anyway, let's start giving it some a skeleton. That's what I'm looking for. Words. Oh, is this thing just scaled massively? Let's see. Let's snap the cursor to the grid. Snap cursor to world origin. There we go. And the hand here. There you go. Item. Yeah, it is 31 meters. Okay. I'm gonna bring it like way down. And then we're gonna snap our armature to the cursor selection. Okay. Move that back to our base. And then we want the head, or sorry, our tail to be at 0. And we're going to go to our skeleton. Where is... Oh, viewport display. There we go. We want it to view in front. We want it to have 0 roll to it. There we go. There's our primary hand bone. Now we need to do one for each finger. Yeah, let's just bring that back a bit. Yeah, I want it on that line. These bones I'm doing right now are just for positioning. They're all going to be removed. Follow up our knuckle trail. Let's do the right to the tip type bone. And then I'll probably just do some posing in Unreal Engine instead of actually posing these. They're gonna delete those bones. It keeps its parent structure though. Beautiful. Actually, that's pretty good for positioning. Huh. And let's see how that looks with automatic weights. Okay. And then if we head over to animation tab, tool auto IK. And there we go. That is a problem. It bends the hand maybe a bit too much. But if we just bring the fingertips in, that actually doesn't look too horrible. And the question is going to be, how does the thumb look? If we rotate the thumb does some funny things. We'll just have to like... Yeah. Yeah, the thumb does some funny things, but that's fine for game jam. I really don't like it, but I can always fix that up later. I can always redo the weights, but I think the rig is fine. Got the armature. Gonna zero everything out. What is its size? X. It's still 2 meters. Let's see. I'm sure I have something with the UE4 skeleton for scale. Anywho, good enough. Gonna do a file, save as, go over to my project folder. Nope. And then we're going to add a new folder. Apparently my caps lock is on. There we go. Okay. And I'm gonna select the armature. Scale is good. Oh, that's closed. That's why. Set it to export recursive. We are going to check for errors. No errors. We're going to export for Unreal. Beautiful. So let's set up our content directory now. And then to find my project. Oh, I didn't actually have. Yay for me being dumb. And there we go. We've got a hand. I'll save all. The other thing we're going to do now, we're going to close this. Yes, we do want to save the image. Because then we're going to go back here, old hand blend. Yes, we're going to replace that one. And then we're going to go to our UV editing, our hand. And image, save as, old hand PNG, perfect. Yeah, it does look a lot lighter here than it does in the viewport. But we can fix that here with some adjustments. Actually, that could be kind of perfect because then we can put in whatever color we want, really. And multiply that by a constant 3 vector for plugging it in there. And that way, there's like a good brown color. It looks right about where we want it. Roughness. I'm gonna give it a constant of like 8. Specular. And a constant of like 0.3. Metallic. Give it a constant of maybe like 0.6. Yeah, it's looking fine. Oh, lighter because the back. Well, yes and no, because when I actually bring it in here, it did look significantly different. Anywho, doesn't really matter. We've got a hand with a texture applied now. And I think it's pretty decent for our reasoning. Oh, right, it triangulated, so the knuckles are differently defined now, but that's fine. Okay. Content. Blueprints. Okay, so we're gonna have a VR old guy character. Our capsule at 88, that is fine. We're gonna make it skinnier though, so we don't constantly bounce up against stuff. Gonna add a camera. That is locked to HMD, yes. And we're gonna put it at negative 88. It's right on the floor. When I attach the camera, we're gonna do 2 motion controllers. So we're just gonna duplicate that. Okay, motion source. Okay. So we've got that. Should we rotate the hand? No, because I can do that in a other thing. So we're going to do a new characters folder. Just stretching it out. And then we are going to do a new actor a underscore hand. And we're going to add a static mesh. No, not a static mesh. I'm going to add a skeletal mesh. Get our hand, which is all sorts of wrong, so we'll just do 180, 90 that way, there we go. Yeah, I think the major issue with the model is that the thumb is too flat. But again, we can tweak the model later. Okay. So event graph, we are going to make a new function, spawn hands. Get location, get world location. No, I think it's motion source. Yeah, get motion source. In component, I don't, right. Don't want that to be a scene component, I want that to be a motion controller. And then motion controller, we're going to get the world location. We are going to do an equals left. Not lefty, left. And then we're going to do a select. And with that, we are going to do a scale. We're going to do a make transform. Rotation will be get rotation. And our scale, if it is left, we want it y -1. And then everything else 1. And then if it's right, we want everything to be 1. Actually, we don't care about the rotation. We just want location and scale. Okay. And then going to spawn actor from class. We want a hand. The hand will want to know what its motion controller is. And that will be a motion controller. Okay. And we're going to make that editable. We are going to expose it on spawn. So we're going to refresh that node. We now have motion controller. Huzzah! And our motion controller is going to be that motion controller. Our transform is going to be that transform. Something like that to keep it looking pretty. And then, do I need to save references to it? Yes. So we are going to do a hand underscore left. And that is going to be an A underscore hand. And we're going to duplicate that for right. We will set the corresponding hand. So if it equals left, we are going to set left. And if it equals right, we'll do the other thing. And then we are going to attach actor to a component. And the parent is going to be this. We're just straighten off that rewrote node. And this is why we don't care about rotation there, or really location, because we are just going to snap to target, and the scaling, we are going to keep the world scale. There we go. Spawn hand, scaling for right or left, then attach to motion controller. So event graph on begin play, we are going to spawn a couple hands. I could be using one of the many assets I have for this, but I really like doing custom assets for game jams, especially the epic jam. Doing everything from scratch, I think, is way too much fun. It might be a mental illness. Like, I could be doing probably a better thing with more likelihood to win by using some of my assets, but who cares? This is spawning hands. We want to do tracking origin is floor level. Yes. Okay, we are going to do a new motion controller. Or not new motion controller, a new player controller. Is PC underscore final war. Event graph. We are going to check on head. Or is it off head? On head. No. Assign HMD put on head. There we go. So we're gonna find HMD, connect, cancel, put on head, and remove from head. There we go. And then we are going to, from here, instead of dragging off and doing something with them. No, see you later, gimme. Yes, playing with my hand. Thanks. Awesome way of putting that. Okay, so we are going to do a create event. And there we go. So this way, instead of having lines off to stuff, we can just have it do things. Okay. Now then we're going to do some custom events. So we're going to do a create a matching event. And we're just going to call this put on HMD, or HMD on head. And then we'll do the same thing over here. HMD off head. And with that, we are going to set game paused. So this way, when somebody takes off their headset, it pauses the game. And then we are also going to reset orientation and position. Okay. Target, what does that? VR notifications. VR notifications component. VR notification. VR notifications. Hey, Fitty. Making old man last survivor or last soldier in a war against alien threat, possibly with space combat, doing a shooter space dogfighter hybrid game. Maybe. It may just end up be a fight your way through a town. You're an old man find aliens with kids and then be like, I don't want to kill them, no. Or be like, I do want to kill them, yes. And then be a horrible person. Yeah, that's the idea. The game jam theme is it's been a long time, but we're not done yet. So the idea is you'll the idea is that you'll wake up as an old man. There'll be some voiceover stuff done by me to be like, oh no, I forgot my wife and she's dead, and oh no, my hair's out, but I'm an old man. It's like teetering on your last remnants of sanity and consciousness kind of idea. And then I'm thinking of, instead of a standard movement type like teleport or that, having a walker. So it's like you actually like put the walker down and then pull it in to move. I think will be the movement mechanic. And then maybe having spaceflight, like you're the last starfighter. So it's like you have to pick up your keys and get to your ship and then take something out and then like land on a dilapidated space station that you used to call home or something like that. And I don't know. It's way over scoped right now, but we'll see where that idea gets me. Okay, so we've got a hand. Got an old guy that spawns hands. Okay. We need a grab. So attempt, grab, and we're going to get the motion controller. Now, from there, we're going to get location. We are going to do a sphere trace for objects, multi-sphere trace for objects, because then we'll get the closest one. We'll start there, we'll end at there +1. Just remember, whenever you're doing a trace, it cannot start and end at the same position, otherwise it will give you no useful information. And we'll have it like a 16 centimeter grab area, maybe. Welcome back, Torok. We're not going to grab other pawns. We shouldn't have to grab vehicles, so we're just going to remove that last pin. The world static, world dynamic is all we're worried about. No, I don't want to break. I want to for each loop. Well, considering we hit anything. So we're going to have a local value, valid target, valid target, there we go, which will be a bool, which will default to yes, unless we need to set it to no. Like for the case of a false hit result there. Okay, then for each element, we're going to break our hit results. We are going to we need to interact with subcomponents. The hand, I think, came along pretty good. So there's our old man hand with nasty fingernails and liver spots and stuff. Yeah. And happy accident, the color was way too light. So we've got a material that I'm just going to quickly modify here. I'm going to convert this to a parameter. We're going to call this hand color. Save and compile a stupid thingy. But then I could do an instance. Create material instance. MI skin. And this way we can actually set the color of this hand. So we've got our hand here. We go and say, hey, I want to have it a different color. Ooh. Oh, that guy's not doing too good. But yeah, set it to whatever you want. We've got alien old man. Go for a redder skin. Go for like jaundice. Go for white boy there. Whatever. So we could actually have a. I could add player customization. You can change the color of your hand. But yeah, I am going to take a piss and I'll be right back. Okay. So we've got the grip test. So we're going to check component first. And we are going to make an interface for grabbing. So let's make a new folder, VR interaction. We are going to add an interface. I_VR interaction. File, save all. Back to our character. We'll do a does implement interface. VR interaction. Branch. Okay, so now if it does implement the interface, we need to see if it's the closest one. So we're going to do a distance, which will be a float. And that float is going to start off with a ridiculously high number. And we're going to get where it starts to trace. To the get location, we'll get the world location of that, or we'll get actor location there. So we're just gonna copy those, move them down something like that, give this some spacing. And we're going to say, is that less than this distance? Then we'll branch. And there we go. And then we'd set distance, if that's true. And then we'd promote this to a variable. And that would be target component. Just trying to keep everything nice and tidy here. There we go. And then we do something similar over here. Yeah, that means I need to make a color selector wheel, and those kind of suck to make sometimes. Like, I don't have to make it. I don't need to actually have any customization. It'd be fun though. Or like not fun, but like funny, just to have like it's a game jam. You have like player customization menu. You get in it and it's like you can change the color of your hand. It's like, oh, why do you even bother? And I get entertainment out of crap like that. Let's do a quick promote to local variable there. Target actor. And then whichever one it is, we want to do a target object. Now we're just going to make that an object type so it can take in either. So this way, whatever the closest item is always selected. So then when this is done, we're going to do an is valid on target object. And then we're going to do, if is not valid, then we're going to set invalid target defaults. How do I want to do this? I could either fire one of two different events from inside here for either an object or I guess it doesn't matter. I just can't get location off of no. So I have to cast it to something else. That being said, if I snap it to the controller and I don't worry about physics, then that doesn't matter. Okay, screw physics. Okay. Now I need to output. So output, we're gonna do an is valid. And we're gonna have a target, which is a object. Okay. And then we're gonna take that and we're gonna plug it in there. Hell, we don't even need to do a valid target function then, or variable then, because I can just have it output that it's not valid. Cool. Delete that, and delete that. Simplify it a bit. And there we go. Okay, so now we're gonna need to go into our interaction interface. VR underscore grab. Okay. There we go. So this way, when something tries to grab, or when you grab something, then you will get back whether or not the hand should socket to that object. Yeah. And it'll handle the snapping on the object side of things. We'll need to know the motion controller. What's funny? Not sure what he's talking about. Motion controller component. There we go. Okay, so we're grab. We're gonna rename that grab start. Grab end. VR underscore grab. Actually, we don't need that. We can do a hand socket as a scene component. And that way I can just snap directly to that component if it's valid. Yeah, that makes more sense. Cool. Okay, and then you end grab motion controller. Yeah, that's it, I guess. The object will decide what to do when the grab is ended. Okay, then we need an interact. Yeah, so VR underscore, not WB. VR underscore, let's call this trigger. VR underscore trigger. No, rename trigger start. Rename VR underscore trigger and can't wait for my new chair to show up next week. Hey C&D, I am working on my Epic Mega Jam entry. So 6 days and 20 hours remaining to make a game based on the theme. It's been a long time, but we're not done yet. And I am aiming to have the best solo developed game so that I can win this beautiful freaking laptop. It'd be pretty sweet. Okay. Motion controller. if I could spell things or, you know, not capitalize the wrong things, that'd be awesome. I'm doing okay. Why aren't you jumping in on this, C&D? Hey, like the Mega Jam's open to everybody. Just all you have to do is make a game in 7 days. Compete with me, brother. Brother in the Epic Development Team. Oh. Yeah. It's not even the first day in, and I'm already insane. Jams do that to you. VR underscore upper button pressed. I'm gonna copy that name. Then we're gonna get motion controller. Oh, exam in a week. Yeah, doesn't leave a lot of time to jam. Okay, and I think I just need one more for the lower button. Well, two more, because they're sets. Copy the name, do another one. Okay. So I've got button press inputs, I've got trigger inputs, and then I've got grab events. Cool. Should the old guy be able to climb? That is a question. Okay. Oh, I need to set up some input. So project settings. Input. VR grip right. VR grip left. VR trigger right. Oh. And left. VR upper button right. All the little tedious setup stuff. And then did I say upper or did I say lower? Or bottom or lower? I said lower. So the idea of my game going with a theme of it's been a long way, it's been a long time, but we're not done yet. I'm gonna take it very literally. You wake up as an old person in like a cave or a dilapidated house, and you're like the last soldier fighting off aliens. So it'll be like a VR shooter, and then maybe have like a dogfight component to it too. It's like you're trying to make your way to your ship, or like fight your way into an abandoned what's it called? Like an abandoned building, bunker, or whatever, hangar to get to a ship, and then like fly to the alien spacecraft that's orbiting Earth or something like that, right? So I wanted to have a mix of on ground shooter and then like either space combat or something. So I can also try to get the genre mixing. Um, there's a genre mixing subcategory which gets you a bunch of the Kit Bash 3D assets, which are like really high quality assets that are typically pretty overpriced. So trying to do VR to get into the XR subcategory, doing it myself to get in the solo developer subcategory, and trying to mix genres to get in the genre bash category. Just maximizing potential um win criteria, right? Yeah. Okay, so we want right grip. We want Oculus Touch left grip. And right trigger. There we go. We can do it that way. Oculus Touch. Right trigger. Trigger. And I need to go find my controllers to find out what the buttons are on the faces. So I'll be right back. The other thing is if I could get my game under 100 megabytes, I could also win the smallest game prize, or like if you're under 100 megabytes is the best small game or something like that. So that's the only one that I'm not actively trying to hit, but if I happen to hit it, even better. Hence why I'm keeping my textures and my models pretty simple. Okay, so right hand. The B button is the upper button. Thumbstick. Right B press. Upper button left is Y. Oculus Touch Y press. Yes. And then lower button is A. And if this goes really well and I get any of these prizes that I don't care about and can sell off, then I might end up getting the Quest 2 headset and upgrade from my Quest. Okay, so that is the grips and that. Do I need the thumbsticks at all if I'm not having movement? No, yes, I'm going to have crouching And I will have snap turn. So we'll add turning, and that will be Oculus Touch, right thumbstick, x-axis, I believe. X is side to side, right? Yeah. I don't know if they're weird axes though, like if they're off. But we'll try that. Okay. We've got the attempt grab. Cool. And we'll have a couple variables for grabbing underscore left. So if the left hand is currently grabbing something, or if the right hand is currently grabbing something. And we're gonna put these all in a category of VR hands. Make a new input graph. Oh, back when I was talking about the customization, that's what you found funny. Yeah, it's not gonna look like a lot of progress for the next little bit, as it'll just be me typing on a screen pretty much, but yeah. Okay, so VR grip. Okay, do we want to have press to release? Let's event possess cast to PC Final War. And then we're going to promote that to controller. P controller. There we go. Save reference to final or to specific player controller. Yeah, I should do something for lunch or dinner soon too. Anywho, we'll deal with that later. Okay. Okay, so saves that to the player controller. So on our player controller, we're gonna have snap turn, and we're going to have oh, what was the thing I was just talking about? Hold grab. Just playing some Space Engineers, eh? How's the new update? And how's it for multiplayer? Because I haven't played in a long time now. Okay. We're gonna input. So when you grip, we are going to say, or we're gonna call this gripping instead of grabbing. Okay. So when you press, if gripping R is true, and not. Okay, so gripping is not true. And we're gonna do branch. Torx also on Discord. He's trying to get me to let him in on the chat. But then I'd be distracted, and I know my workflow is going to slow down versus just looking at chat bubbles every once in a while. So I'm sorry, I actually do want to join you in chat. I just can't right now because otherwise I'm going to lose flow. Okay, so gripping is true. Is hold grab true? So what I'm doing here is seeing whether or not I should try dropping the object or allow dropping the object. Release. VR. Grab and motion controller. Oh. Duh. I don't need a flag there because I have to save the gripped object anyway. I'm an idiot. We get that is valid. So if gripped object is not valid, then we are going to attempt to grab with our motion controller. And we're going to branch. And then we're going to set gripped object. Able to climb small to medium objects? Yeah. Well, I'm thinking more like Do I need ladders? Like, do I have something like that? Like, you can, like, vault over stuff and have ladders, or just, like, you're too old and frail to even try? Like, do I need to make a climbing system? You know, I'm gonna leave climbing system out for now, and if I have time, I might add it in afterwards. Okay, so we've got attempt to grab branch, gripping object. So we set the gripped object. Then on that gripped object, we want to VR start. VR grab start. No. VR grab start. There we go. And our target is that gripped object. Our motion controller is our motion controller. Straighten connection to reroute node. And what am I getting here? Oh, some random person's following me on Twitter. Cool. I'm so glad you told me about that phone, because that was necessary information. Okay, so grab. We're gonna do an is valid. No, then we're going to do a new function socket hand. And we're gonna have socket slash remove, or socket slash retrieve, no, return. That's what I want. So if socket is true, otherwise return socket object is a scene component, and then pose. Will be a pose asset. And then hand will be a hand asset. Or object. Okay. So then, when we do this, and then we are going to do socket hand. Yes, we were trying to socket. Socket object. Pose. And our hand in this case is the right hand. Okay. So that should be the gripping on the player side for grabbing something. Now we need to release. So if we release and hold grab is true, then we're going to go through a gate. If hold grab is false, then we're just going to drop the gripped object. Well, first we need to find out if it's valid, so So is it valid? Only do things if it is, because otherwise we don't need to do anything. Hey. Okay. So it is valid, and hold grab is true, but hold grab is false. We want to br grab end. And then we want to end it on gripped object R with our right motion controller. And then we get to copy all this for the left hand. Yay! Okay, however, we want to do that if that's true. So if gripped object is true, and this is true. Because if it's false, we don't want to do anything because we've already gripped things. Cool. But if it's true, then we want to do a sequence. And we're actually going to move this down because these will be interrelated. We will first open the gate. We will second do a delay of something like 5 seconds. No, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4 seconds. So what this is doing is if grab holds on, so if you just let go, it doesn't let go. You have to press again and then let go again to actually drop the object. And you'll be able to drop it within 4 seconds. And that way, if somebody has a hard time actuating their hand, open or closed, gives them enough time to basically double click that button instead of making it infuriating when they can't actuate their hand fast enough to double click the button. And I think 4 seconds should be fine. However, I should also have this here that if you hit something, then we want to close. No, not a branch, a sequence. So this way, when you pick something up, it automatically closes this gate, so as soon as you release, it doesn't release a thing. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. And then if it gets through the gate, then we do the grab end. Oh. Put this down here. And then we just have to do this bit once. Something like that. And then we are going to do our socket hand again, except for now because we've dropped something. we are putting it to false. So it is returning the hand. Cool. Grip or drop right-handed, or grip or drop object on right hand. Okay, now when we socket hand, we are going to branch. And then if it is socket, we are going to get an is valid. And if it is valid, we are going to take hand. We are going to attach actor to component. The component will be this socket object. And then somehow we set the pose. I'll figure that out later. Okay. And then, however, if we do this, if we're doing return, then we'll get our hand. We'll check if it is equal to hand left. And then we'll do a select. If it is equal hand left, we are getting controller left. If not, we're getting controller right. And then we're copying this. And our target hand. And then our parent is the motion controller, and then everything else is the same. Yeah, something like that. Attach hand actor to placement socket or motion controller. Compile and save. I could probably put like that's the socket object or as motion controller. Let's see, can I plug a motion controller into socket object? I can. Okay. So we'll actually get rid of that boolean, get rid of the branch, and get rid of this. Socket object or motion controller. Because in that way, we refresh this. Refresh node. Go. We'll take this and we'll just take our motion controller right and plug it right in there. Beautiful. So that way when we're turning our hand back to where it should be, it just snaps back to the motion controller. Beautiful. Okay, so that is all the right-handed stuff. Cool. Planet weather. Awesome. Okay. Okay, let's copy this over for doing the left-handed version of it. So object left, left. Script object left. And hand. Okay, script object left. Player controller, yeah. And then crypt object left, motion controller left, and hand left. And there we go. Gripping and dropping inputs are complete. Okay, now let's do trigger. VR trigger right and VR trigger left. These ones will be significantly simpler. So we are going to do a is valid for our gripped object. Are they going to be any simpler? I could also hook them into there. So that whether you trigger or you grip. No. No. Nope, nope. I'm going to keep them simple. So we're just doing is valid. And then we're going to do VR trigger start and VR trigger end. And our target is our gripped target. You can actually move that guy up and do that. Yeah, not very nice to read, so that instead. And we'll just straighten them off of each other. so. Now I'll do a similar thing with the motion controller. Like that. Okay, ripped object left and motion controller. There we go. Trigger inputs are done. I've hit caps lock sometime again. Trigger input on right hand. Trigger input on left. And this exact same setup will be what's used on the buttons. VR button lower left, right. Okay. This probably have to be a little bit more lower to have good spacing. I did put that as motion controller left. Yes, I did. Okay, beautiful. Go. Oh. Once the restrictions are lightened up a bit, want to do crepes? Yes. This plan has been foiled. Oh, he may be like delayed back to when I was talking about having him in chat. Go. VR controller face button inputs. Okay, so oh, now I have to reset all these. Okay, so VR button upper button press VR button Upper button released. Lower button pressed. Lower button release. Okay. So lower button pressed and release. And upper button pressed and released. These are just the tedious bits of things. Yay, TDM. Okay, and then we're going to set up an object to test gripping, and I'll set up my packaging for Oculus Quest, and then I will attempt to package it, and I will go make dinner and take a break from the stream, and then I will restart the stream for the next section of this insanity. Ha ha ha. Yes. I have those inverts. Cool. There we go. Yay, everything lines up again. Yeah, so what this gets me is controls for the Oculus Touch controllers. Because then I've got the side grip, the front trigger, and then the upper and lower buttons on both. So that is now all of the button inputs. VR controller button inputs. Like, it's not the most elegant setup. Like, it could definitely be more. Oh, actually, it is pretty elegant. Because it's not too complex. Elegant just means simple, right? So realistically, it's fairly elegant, and you've got all your inputs, and then the other things handle it. Oh, cool. Okay. By default, I want hold grab to be false. Cool. And snap turn should be false. Okay. Pause game if headset removed. Compile, save. Okay, so we are gonna do I'm just gonna rename this area or this thingy. Cancel. Okay, so there's the VR interaction interface. So now we are going to do a blueprint class. No, we're going to do a new folder, and we are going to have this be so under VR interaction, we are going to have this as screw it, we're just going to do a actor VR. We're going to call this class underscore VR grip actor. And our VR grip actor is going to have the VR interface. Compile and save. And our VR grip interface is going to be when it starts. Yeah, we're going to do a thing. So we're going to, when it starts, get motion controller. I'm gonna snap yeah. Yeah, how do we want to do this? It's gonna be basic attach actor to component, so that is the bare minimum thing. And then we're going to get root component cast to primitive is simulating physics. Branch. Oh, we don't care actually. We're just gonna do set simulating physics defaults. Cool. Who cares whether it is or not? We just want it to stop doing it. So set our root component, stop simulating physics. If it's not a primitive component, just continue on to doing the other thing. Yeah. And there's no hand socket, no dedicated pose on the basic setup. Cool. Compile, save. And then we're going to implement on grab end. Now we're just going to set simulating to true. And that is it. Because that way, Yeah, what this doesn't handle is if it is already held. Does the object care if it's already held? No. No, it doesn't. So that means we need to make this more complex to see if it's, or we just never have dual socketing. We'll deal with dual socketing later, if need be. Cool. That's the answer. Deal with it later. Yeah, I liked the knobbly knuckles better before it was triangulated. Oh, like this is fine, but it looked better before. Okay. We'll do a new level. And then we're going to save this current level to levels. And we're going to call it level underscore test. And then we're going to do a game mode. GM underscore final war. And we're going to do a game instance. Game instance. GI underscore final war. File save all. GM final war. Our default pawn class will be our old guy. Our default player controller is going to be PC Final War. And I think that's all we need there. And then we're going to go to edit, project setting. Our maps and mode, default game mode will be Final War, and default game instance will be GI Final War. Okay, our game yes, I want to save. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm going to end the stream now. Thank you all for watching, and I'll be back after I've had some dinner. We'll set up some test objects, and I think we'll try setting up some settings for like volume and stuff like that.